What up, Jippers? LPlays back once again for a very special video because we're going to be talking about something new that has leaked through Waking Titan. Now, some of you may have seen this already. The reason I hadn't made a video dedicated to this just yet is because this is essentially a file that was found through hacking into the SATCOM website and looking at the actual source data and the source files. So we've potentially got this earlier than we were supposed to get it through the ARG. So it's kind of somewhat of a spoiler. I've held off on making a video on it for a little bit, but by this point it's all over Twitter and Reddit and everybody has seen it. So I figured we're going to talk about it a little bit today. So just be warned, if you're only following strictly the ARG and you haven't been looking at anywhere else at all, you might not have seen this yet because it hasn't officially been dropped through the ARG just yet, but we are expecting it to come because we found it in the files there. So if you don't want to see it yet, turn away now. But we're going to talk about this because I am very freaking excited about it. Nobody else is talking about the thing that I want to talk about here because to me this looks like it hints at something very freaking special for No Man's Sky Next, and I am just having such a freaking blast with the ARG at the moment. I think it's pretty fair to say that Waking Titan has been quite explosive lately. Alright guys, let's jump into this one and take a look at the file now. So here we go. This is the image that I want to talk about. This is the file that has been dubiously unlocked by some of our investigators that have been potentially bending the rules of the ARG a little bit. And it's a new player model. So straight away when you look at it, it looks just like the other player models with a couple of quite striking differences in my opinion. But to boil it down, this is another type of player model that has been revealed to us. Similar style to the way the other one was shown. It looks like they were potentially going to make this into another hologram drop, maybe for one of the Mercury videos, but I suspect they'll have to adapt that now because it has been leaked and people have already seen it. But there's a lot going on with this picture that I find really interesting, and there are potentially some things here that this hints at that I was not expecting at all with No Man's Sky Next. And I guess the first thing I should do is just say, when I look at this, what do I see? So yes, I 100% agree with what most people are saying, and that's that it does just look like another player model. That's definitely clear. It's obviously a player model. It's an in-game asset that's going to be dropped in next. It looks like a humanoid-shaped character, you know, the little anthropomorphic shape. Very similar to the player models we've been shown that we're going to have. But I think the feel, the vibe, the overall, like, aura to this is just so dark and ominous and evil looking that this isn't going to be us. I think this is potentially one of two things. Possibly it's hinting at player customization, which seems to be quite a popular view on it at the moment. I was already expecting that we might see player customization, definitely with things like the colors of our suits and all of that kind of stuff. If this is just that, I would be very surprised, because if that is the case, why would they just tease another player model through the ARG when we already know we're getting player models? We were already expecting that they can be customizable because of what we've seen on the box art, the different colors, the different attachments, all of that good stuff. This to me looks like something totally different. I think what we're looking at here is a freaking evil baddie. I really think this, the whole vibe, the whole look, the whole feel of it is giving off to me that this is going to be some new kind of enemy race in the game, some new kind of anti-hero, some new kind of villain, some new antagonist that us, the players, the travelers, either have to fight against or avoid, or probably in my case run away from. But yeah, like, does that not just, like, when you look at this, does this not just jump out to you as evil? That's the vibe. That's what this gives me. It just gives me pure evil. I don't think this is going to be us. I don't think this is going to be the player models. There's some really weird stuff about it that I want to talk about that just makes everything about it seem off to me. And I really think this could be a tease of a new race, a new type of character or enemy that's going to be added into the game as part of the new and expanded lore, and also as like more of a threat in the game, because a lot of people complain about the Sentinels being too easy to kill. I'm not one of those people. As soon as the walkers come out, or the dogs, I am out of there. But yeah, a lot of people want more of a challenge. They want more of a, like, enemy, some sort of thing to rise against and actually have to properly go to war with and stuff like that. And I think this could be one of those new threats. I think we could be getting this new race, this new type of character as an NPC enemy in the game. And of course, for anyone that's new here and hasn't caught on to this by now, I am obviously talking about my view on this, my speculation, my opinion on what this means for No Man's Sky Next, and what this actually is going to add when it comes along in the update. I am quite excited. I am probably going into full-on crazy tinfoil hat mode. I want to do that. I want to jump into this. I want to enjoy talking about it. I want to hear what you guys think about this. And I want to know if I'm really the only person that thinks this is a new enemy race or a new baddie that's going to be added into the game and not just another player model, right? I don't see any reason why we would get teased another just slightly different player model through the ARG as one of the big drops. Like, it doesn't make sense if that's just going to be, oh, here's just another variant of the player models that you're all getting. I don't buy that at all. I do think this is something very different to that. And it looks freaking mean. So I guess, like, first of all, when I look at this, the thing that jumped out to me straight away was the giant freaking head with the evil horns on it there. And it looks almost like insectoid. And loads of people kind of, like, jumped on me when I've mentioned this before and been like, it's just a freaking helmet. It's just a freaking helmet. You're completely wrong. And yes, I obviously know it's a helmet. I wasn't trying to say that looks like the actual creature's head or the actual being's head. I was just saying that the whole vibe and the feel of the helmet and everything about that looks like it's some kind of really alien, ominous thing and not just a regular helmet on a normal player model. It's got horns on it. It almost looks insectoid, right? It's got these weird, like, you can just make them out. It almost looks like there's 3 big eyes there. Really dark, like the dark black eye circles with the little bright blobs in between them. And if you look down towards, like, the bottom of the head, it almost looks like there's, like, fangs and stuff on the helmet. So, like, straight away, if this is just a helmet, why is there a helmet that is looking so freaking ominous, evil, nasty, and mean? It just screams bad guy to me as soon as I look at it. And the other thing is the freaking size of the head. Like, yes, this is a helmet, but if you look at the player model we've already been given that we know is going to be us, it looks way bigger to me. Like, the proportions for this look quite different. The whole thing looks like it's a little bit bulkier. They've gone with a much more dark vibe. There's no, like, bright neon glow around the little waist belt thing or anything like that. It's like they've purposely done everything they can to make this look like some kind of shadowy, dark figure. So I do think this is something more than just a variant of the player model that we are going to play as characters. I think this is an NPC. I think it's a baddie. And that has me thinking about all kinds of possibilities, and a lot of them to me make a lot of sense, because we knew we were going to be getting some new lore and story. We knew after Atlas Rises that the story wasn't completely finished. We knew there would be expanded lore at some point. We expect to see that in Next. We think that's going to be built upon. Of course, the main logo that they've used for the No Man's Sky Next update on the No Man's Sky website is the big, like, bright red Atlas. Looks like it's being damaged or it's angry or something like that. The way that it's glowing, the way that it's like red and fierce looking. So I kind of suspected, that was one of my early predictions, that was one of the main things I thought was definitely coming as soon as we saw that, was we're going to be getting new lore. It looks like more chaotic stuff is going to happen, and that kind of ties in quite nicely if we think, boom, here is a new enemy that's going to be added to the game. Something not neutral, something chaotic. We've got the Sentinels in the game already as kind of an enemy, but they're not really an enemy. They don't have allegiance to, like, one side. They're not trying to take over and destroy things. They're not trying to kill us, the travelers in the game. They're not trying to attack us. They're kind of like a peacekeeping force, right? If we mine too many resources, if we're running around blowing up all the little jippers on the planets, if we're throwing grenades everywhere and destroying things, then they attack us, then they come after us, then they try and stop us because they're protecting the planets that they're on and they're trying to keep control. But this looks like it could be taking that to a whole new level. Some kind of enemy that actually is evil. A real baddie, a real villain in the game and in the story, and that also lines up with a lot of the themes and direction that the ARG has been going in. We know that in the ARG right now, in Waking Titan, Elizabeth has been murdered. She has been blown to smithereens. Like, there is a baddie. We might not know for sure who it is yet. I'm still not trusting where. I'm even skeptical of Emily at this point. I don't know what's going on, but something out there in the ARG is a baddie, is a villain, is an evil force that's manipulating things and making this bad stuff happen. And that to me is a pretty big hint that they're enjoying that kind of storytelling and they're experimenting with the idea of having a baddie, having a villain, and it's got us all really excited with the Where stuff. I've probably taken that even further than most, but I've had a blast with that. people want a bad guy, they want a villain, they want something to be scared of, they want something to fight against, and I really feel like all of that in the ARG is not just a coincidence, it's not just part of the ARG alone. I think it's because that kind of theme and that kind of thing is going to be coming to the update as well in the new lore and the new story that we get with Next. And we could be looking at right now one of the main like villains or like the foot soldier or whatever, the enemy race or faction that could be that for us in the game. The antagonist, the thing for the players to band together in multiplayer and fight against, something like that could be this freaking evil looking dude right here. And he does look evil. I don't know what anyone else thinks. I don't know how other people aren't agreeing with me as much as I thought they would, because when I looked at this, there's just no other way you can see that, right? Even if that is just customization, it's like somebody has customized themselves to look hideously evil and scary. But yeah, that was kind of the main thing I just wanted to talk about, I wanted to touch on here. I know a lot of you have probably seen this image already. I know a lot of people kind of saw it and thought nothing of it. It's just another player model. I don't think it's that small. I do think it's more than that. I do think this was probably going to be one of the things we got teased as the weekly drops, but now I expect that will change because we've already seen it. I think we'll get something else in its place. But the fact that this was in there, it was something that was going to be part of Waking Titan, that was going to be dropped, to me means it has to have some more importance than just here's another type of player model. I don't buy that. I do think it's a baddie. I do think it's going to tie into the lore in some way. I think it's going to be quite important, and one of the major things that's added is this enemy race. But what's really interesting to me is, like, is this the enemy race, or is this just like one part of it? Is it going to be more complicated than that? Are they going to have their own machines, you know, like their own kinds of bad sentinels that they have for them, like their own forces, their own kind of evil looking ships? Are there going to be bigger, scarier versions? Like, is this just one of the grunts, one of the basic foot soldiers? Like, there are so many things that I'm thinking about, like, this could mean. If I'm not wrong and I haven't just gone crazy and got too excited, and this actually is an enemy or some kind of bad guy that's going to be added to the next update, then what does that mean, like, beyond just this one image that we're seeing? Are we going to get like a full-on enemy force? Are there going to be evil mega ships? Are there going to be new kinds of evil weapons that fight against us? Are there going to be evil robots and things like that? Like, there are so many things that could come along with this that have me freaking out right now. And let's not go too much into them, because for now all we've seen is this, and I don't want to get too carried away. I know I always do, it's too late, but but yeah, like, just thinking about that has me excited, and I want to know what you guys think about that. Am I crazy? Am I just reading too much into this? Is it not a bad guy at all? It's just another player model? I don't think so, but I would love to know what you guys think. Is there anything on this that I've missed that I haven't talked about? Like, there's quite a lot of differences between this and the regular player model in terms of the look and feel to it, but most of them to me are boiled down to this is made to look more dark. So all of the bright things, the lights, the bell, everything on the regular player model that added some real like brightness and color to it seems to have been stripped away here. And this gives a much more like shadowy, villainous type vibe. So yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Another cool asset that was hidden in Waking Titan. I expect we're going to get something teased this weekend, because we're coming up to that weekly update time again. We're going to keep getting these assets once a week now, right up until the end, I suspect. So definitely stay tuned for that. There will definitely be a video coming here very soon as something happens with that. And of course, I'll be doing another Waking Titan update just to catch you up on all of the craziness that's happened. Even though I am a little bit sad that we've lost Elizabeth. She was my favourite character in the ARG, guys. Like, why? Why did you take Elizabeth away? Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you did enjoy that one. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like and a comment. That stuff helps like crazy. If you want to support me that little bit extra, I have got a Patreon account now. I do want to make this a full-time thing. I do want to pursue this as a dream. So that's just one way you can support me and help that eventually become a possibility in the future. And of course, I got the little Jipper merch store as well. So if you want to grab some cool L Players gear, go take a look at that. But yeah, take care, guys. And peace. I just want to give a huge thank you and shout out to my current Patreon supporters: Shiraka Majeli, YO, Madeline J, NTB, Ovian S, Tyler D, Todd Cook, Neil B, Anarchy, Vanilla, Rasmus K, Autumn Long, Lukash, Husband Vader, Amras, Dale from the Atlas Hub, Joanne Anderson, Heath, and the Portrait Dude. You guys are the best.